Welcome, sports fans, to Alberni District Secondary School for the 2016 Alberni Armada Invitational Wrestling Tournament. My name's Charles Mealy. I'll be doing the play-by-play for you today, and alongside with me is the one and only, the Professor, Ryan Dvorak on caller. Ryan, we had another awesome wrestling tournament at this point. We've got the finals coming up. What can we see today?
Well, Charles, at our 33rd annual Alberni Invitational, we had 400 athletes representing 58 schools, some coming from as far away as Calgary, for a day and a half of really exciting action. We saw some fantastic wrestling, some great technical matchups, and some true heart and grit from all of our kids, not just the Alberni Armada, but kids from all over British Columbia and Western Canada. Today, for our finals, we can expect to see our schoolboys and schoolgirls, those are grade 7 and 8 students, and our grade 9, 10 cadets, and our grade 11, 12 juveniles go through a series of matches that are essentially going to reflect what our provincials are going to look like. These are the best of the best, and when we're talking particularly about our senior athletes, we're seeing matchups that really matter. These will determine the provincial seedings for those kids at the BCs, and that means a big deal. So we can see some heart, some grit, and we're going to see some fantastic wrestling.
I can't wait. Neither can you, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you tuned into Shaw TV. Up next, after these messages, you'll see the 2016 Alberni Armada Invitational Wrestling Tournament. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now underway. It's the schoolboys 42 to 45 kilo weight class. It is Pedro Amui from Sentinel and Ashton Combdon of Queen of Angels.
Hello, Charles. Pedro is the red wrestler, and Ashton Combdon of Queen of Angels from the, as usually, strong Cowichan contingent is in the blue singlet. So we're starting off here, Charles, with our schoolboy division, 42 to 45 kilogram. Starting in a final, what we've got here is Pedro's come in very strong, taking a nice double leg down into a pin, and the match is over.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't take too long at all. There it is, Pedro Amui from Sentinel. And he is the schoolboy 42 to 45 kilo weight class gold medal winner. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 29 to 33 kilo schoolboys weight class. We have Duncan McLeod from ADSS in the red, and it's Lee-Mensah from St. Francis de Sales School in Burnaby.
Yeah, we have Duncan. He's one of our upcoming grade 8s. He's part of the new contingent of grade 8s at Alberni District Secondary School now. He's a tough kid wrestling in the 29 to 33 kilogram weight class. You can see he's working hard to get behind his opponent. It looks like we had an interesting what we'd call a dump there from Lee-Mensah where he scored 4 points by taking Duncan from his feet to his back.
And Lee-Mensah with a huge turn, and much to the delight of the crowd here. And he's going to do it again if he can, and he will. More points for Lee-Mensah, who not only was wrestling all weekend, he also was an official as well. Size is not an issue when it comes to being an official. He is accredited, and he was helping us out this week as well.
Yeah, that is an unusual move to see. You would not see that at a bigger weight class simply because of the issues around the neck. But these young guys are pretty flexible, and again, if it's done right, it's it's a safe move. So right now, by my calculation, we can't see the score clock at the moment. Duncan is down by 8 points. Lee-Mensah should have 8, and Duncan McLeod of ADSS is showing a lot of heart out there, though, Charles. You know, he's still wrestling hard, listening to Coach McDonald give him instructions during this little break as the officials have a conversation. And you see he's out there ready to go.
Absolutely he is. Absolutely, he's warm, ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Duncan McLeod from ADSS in the red. And they are going to get the score all figured out.
Zena, Shew, you're on deck.
And Rafik, our official, is now ready to go. No, he is not. Now they're still questioning. Still questioning at this point on what the score is. Now they've got it all figured out, I believe, and away we go. Duncan McLeod in the red from ADSS. Lee-Mensah from St. Francis de Sales in the blue.
Okay, so we see Lee-Mensah coming into the front head and arm. Okay, now down to score 2. I believe the officials must have had a conversation around the score. Lee is going now here for a what is called a low gut wrench. He's trying to turn Duncan to score 2. Duncan is defending well.
Very well, he's defending.
He's got to get that arm out, though, and on the mat.
Oh, he did a pretty good job there. Slowing the action down, not allowing the turn or throw. Duncan McLeod, great work there on some defense. And now he's got a chance to turn the tide against Lee-Mensah Richards in the blue. Richards goes down, trying to avoid the leg take. Duncan McLeod's all over him, still going for the leg.
I like
Great
that
defense.
aggression that Duncan is showing here. He's down in this match, but he's still working hard. I want to see him now post that head and get behind with a butt drag or onto the ankle. Oh, Lee-Mensah Richard had a beautiful sit out there.
And safety first.
Yeah, something you're not normally going to see for this age of wrestler, but really, really well done. Beautiful thing into a double. It's now, I'm not sure what we're doing here. Oh, must be time.
Yeah, it is time now,
Yeah.
and always you have to remember this is a contact sport. However, it's great to see that the referees know safety first. If a competitor is in a very, very vulnerable position, they will stop the action. So we're just going to wait it out now with a 30-second break for both competitors. Once again, this is the 29 to 33 kilo schoolboys weight class. This is the final in that weight class. And the handshake as always, and we're underway, round number 2. Duncan McLeod got some good advice from Coach McDonald and steps out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's going to cost a point.
Duncan, lost. He didn't know quite where he was in terms of that match on the mat, and he just sort of stepped out. Now, in freestyle wrestling, when he steps out, the other athlete is awarded a point. So now Duncan is being very aggressive, coming in and scores 4! 4 points.
And
nope, 2. Check
nope.
that, 2.
All right, it was initially 4, but then changed to 2.
Yeah.
That's a big step for Duncan McLeod.
We have 7 points for Lee-Mensah Richard and 6 for Duncan McLeod. We got a really tight match here. We got a barn burner, Charles.
That's what we're looking for. Always happening at the Alberni Armada Invitational Tournament. Like I said, too, a lot of people have been watching Lee-Mensah Richards all weekend. He's been helping out, and he's been an accomplished wrestler. But Duncan McLeod at the home crowd behind him, and he's right in this matchup now in the second round.
Well, you can certainly see Duncan is becoming a lot more confident and comfortable out there. He's taking the match now to Lee as opposed to letting Lee dictate the terms. He going from coming down points in the match to this point now where he's, 4-7 I see the score has been altered to. Lee-Mensah with an arm spin, beautiful move, scores 4. Duncan is going to fight hard to get out of here.
And he does.
And he's back to his stomach now.
Well done by Duncan McLeod, and another absolutely humongous throw.
And Rafiq.
Just waiting for it. No pin.
Official Rafiq was looking for a pin confirmation.
And that will be
Yeah.
should be technical superiority.
It is.
But it was a great match. As you can probably hear Tom McAvey in the background. Good job by both Lee-Mensah Richards and Duncan McLeod, but the winner is Lee-Mensah Richards.
And in wrestling, a 10-point lead on your opponent, if you're not in a pinning position, is called a technical superiority. But good job to Duncan. He's really showing some grit out there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up on mat 1, it is Charlie Roberts, Queen of Angel out of Cowichan, and Zena Shaw out of South Island Distance Education out of Victoria.
Yeah, we've got a couple of our 33 to 37 kilogram schoolgirls. So again, these are athletes in generally grade 6, 7, or 8. We're going to see, again, the Cowichan crew of Charlie Roberts and Zena Shaw from South Island battle it out here for the Schoolgirls Championship.
Zena Shaw in with the yellow headgear.
Yeah, Zena performs just a beautiful duck under there. Comes into a single and spins around to take her opponent Charlie down for 2 points. Sorry.
And quickly opening it up, a 6-0 lead is Charlie Roberts.
Yeah, just to clear the air for our viewers who are watching this and don't understand how the scoring works in wrestling. If you take your opponent down from their feet to their stomach, you're awarded 2 points. From your feet directly to your back, you're awarded 4 points.
And Zena Shaw gets away from the single leg takedown and grabs the waist and is able to get 2 more points out of the deal.
Yeah, basically going back to that bread and butter move of hers, that duck under to the spin around. It's been working really well for her against Charlie Roberts. And now, she gets Charlie in a pinning position. Right here, Zena needs to hold that arm, and technical superiority has occurred.
No, hang on. They usually wait for, even if you're up by 10, they still wait if you're a pinning situation.
Yeah,
but they decided to stop it at that point.
There was a break in the action where Charlie was on her stomach. At that point, the officials blow the match as dead by technical superiority, and Zena Shew of sides wins.
So that was the 33 to 37 kilo weight class. The winner by a score of 10-0, Zena Shew from South Island Distance Education. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up is the 63 to 66 schoolgirls. And in this matchup, in the red, it is Paige Maher from E.J. Dunn and Maddie May in the blue from the wonderful Ucluelet Secondary School Program.
Yeah, we've got Paige Maher. She's a grade 7 student at E.J. Dunn and is part of the famous Maher family in Port Alberni. Has demonstrated a lot of commitment and skill this year, coming out to all our high school practices and working hard. Paige had a real battle in her round robin in the last match, and it really went the distance, and she's shown a whole lot of heart and grit here in this tournament. So we'll see how this turns out. This is a round robin match, but may reflect, we'll see what this looks like at the end.
I was able to see Maddie May wrestle earlier on this weekend, and she was absolutely great in her matchups. So this is going to be a pretty good test for Paige Maher out of E.J. Dunn.
Yeah, Paige is a very aggressive wrestler. She doesn't like to back off or hold, or slow down. She's going to be 100% the whole match. So I look for some explosive action from Paige. She's really developing her shot nicely, as we see here, and is working on her setup.
And she did.
Beautiful,
she's able to turn that around.
Absolutely beautiful, Charles. That's a textbook defense to a head and arm throw. Paige just felt it, popped her head out, got around behind to score 2 points.
Set of keys, looks like a car key.
So it is 2-0 right now for Paige Maher from E.J. Dunn and looking for more points.
That's right. Paige is working on a half Nelson here. She's got to get that arm underneath the shoulder, comes to a nice cross face. Coach Rhodes is going to take his one challenge here.
Coach Rhodes, right away after that throw, made a swim motion and was confused by the point. So now he's come over. I'm not too sure exactly what he was trying to say, but he wasn't happy with the scoring of that first throw. And now the referees will talk about it.
Yeah, under our new, we're trialing a new system in Vancouver Island Wrestling where the coach gets one challenge of a call per match. So the process is they talk to the mat chair, and then all the officials come together and they make a decision. So we'll see what this turns out.
Last call, please.
And we're underway now.
And it
score
looks
did
like
not
the
change.
score has not changed. We have about 35 seconds in this round. At this level, we have 2 2-minute rounds with a 30-second break in between. And believe me, folks, 2 minutes out there on the mats, expending the amount of energy these girls are doing, feels like a marathon.
Great defense by Paige Maher, and Maddie May tried her best, but it looks like Paige Maher's got the defense for it.
Watch how Paige circled away from the outside, the protection area on the mat. She's done a great job, needs to do this again. She's circling in.
Wow.
Yeah, remember, if her foot steps out, she loses a point.
Well done.
And that is time for the round.
A great last 10 seconds by Paige Maher from E.J. Dunn in the red. She's doing all that she can as Maddie May was very aggressive there trying to push her out and get some points. But great defense that last 15 seconds, let's say, especially for Paige Maher.
That's right. The coaches have 30 seconds to give instructions to their athlete. This is a time generally to get one good idea in their heads and send them back out fired up.
Yep. Coach Bodner, the last instructions. Coach Rode with his last instructions. The next 2 minutes were underway. Once again, 63 to 66 kilo schoolgirls weight class. And this is the final in the Alberni Invitational.
Yeah, these girls both are comfortable in the collar tie. And certainly Maddelyn there attempts a leg attack, was unsuccessful, well defended by Paige. Paige is going to work her here for a little bit and wait for her setup. She's going to probably try Maddie's going to come in for a single. Paige is going to defend and throw. Watch her step in front, load up the hips.
Oh, she's trying. Great defense by Maddie May.
Great defense there. Okay, that she pretty well had her there, and Maddie was able to back out of that. to the double leg and down for 4 for Paige Maher. 4 points.
With a great takedown.
And that's a 4-pointer, and they'll go out now. Paige Maher in total control against a very, very good wrestler in Maddy May out of Ukulele.
Yeah, that was just a great example of Paige seeing an opportunity, taking it, and following through with an explosive finish. So again, taking your opponent from your feet to their back is 4 points in freestyle wrestling. Now Paige, up by 6, is going to continue to maintain that aggression, I would bet. I don't see her backing out here. She's going to want to end this match and end it soon.
Last minute to go, under a minute now. Maddy May from Ukulele, it's called go time. She's going to need some points.
Here's Paige, double leg and driving.
Sentinel. Ashton, come on
Great
down
work
for your gold medals.
by Paige Maher, another point.
Yeah, Paige drove her straight off the mat, so instead of 4, she got 1 point there. However, that puts her up 7-0 in the round, in the match.
Points are points either way, but she's been aggressive enough to take another point to make it a 7-0 lead with about 39 seconds left in the match.
You know, and both these girls had a lot of wrestling this weekend. I'm sure they're both absolutely exhausted. We now watch a case where they both have a leg. Paige is in a bit of trouble here. She's going to have to fight, and Paige goes a beautiful single leg by Maddy May, and that is 4 points for Maddelyn May of Ukulele Senior Secondary.
24 seconds left. That's exactly what Maddy May was trying to get. 4 points. Now you hear the Ukulele Secondary School contingent yelling, it's go time.
Yeah, with about 23 seconds to go, up by 3 points. You've got to be a very patient or very aggressive wrestler. So we'll see where Paige takes this. She's going to control the wrist, which is a good way to do that. Okay, kind of stall out here and stay circling in onto the legs. The match is over.
And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. It is Paige Maher with a great first 7 points and some great defense at the end. And she is the gold medal winner in the 63 to 66 kilo weight class. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, 60 to 64 kilo schoolboys. We have Mathew Hoag from Van College in the purple singlet, and in the green singlet from Guilford Park is Jacob Giroux.
Yeah, 60 to 64 tends to be the more competitive weight classes and the biggest weight class in schoolboys. A beautiful single leg, okay? Coming down, he's gonna, beautiful defense by Jacob there, stretching him out, putting all his weight on his head. He's doing a good job in defending.
Mathew Hoag didn't want to give up that leg. He had to in the end. Jacob Giroux now finds himself on top and rolling over some points.
Yeah, Jacob exposed Matthew's back there to score 2 and has been successful in keeping that arm. That's such a big deal for these younger wrestlers to do. We work on our senior wrestlers doing that all the time, but you see how by keeping that arm, he was able to bring his opponent back onto his back and put him into a pinning position. So right now, Jacob has got to keep him in bounds, okay? You can see Matthew's not in the, Mathew was able to struggle through there and was a lot of grit and gut to get out of that.
So right now with 50 seconds left, it is 4-0 for the wrestler in green. That's Jacob Giroux from Guilford Park. And he's going to give himself up, unfortunately. Tried to throw and finds himself in a bad position.
We see that all the time at this age class. The a nice low gut wrench, but a little bit loose allowed Mathew to come on top and stay on top. He's now in a position with a half Nelson, switching sides to what may be a crossface. The referee has decided there wasn't enough action. They stand him up again.
So 24 seconds left. The score is now 6-2, but now seems like someone is bleeding and they're not too sure who.
Yeah, we're looking at, I'm going to find out who's bleeding. Whoever is bleeding has 2 minutes of blood time. So we have blood time and injury time in this sport. Blood time tends to come from the noses. And this looks like what we're facing here with Mathew Hoag of Vancouver College. So he's got 2 minutes to try and plug that leak and get back out on the mat.
Yeah, just got bumped in the nose a little bit, and there it is, a little bit of blood. We've had that a few times this weekend. Heck, we had one wrestler who came into the competition with a broken nose already and was taping up her whole face just to compete in the Alberni Armada Invitational Tournament. So shows how big this tournament really is.
Absolutely, and it shows just what it means in terms of provincial rankings.
Not only that, of course, if you were here on Friday, then you were able to see Calgary, Western Canada High School, was here to take on the Alberni Armada. and they were here to do the dual meet. So it was unbelievable action. Had the spotlight at the center mat, and we had Western Canada High School and the Armada go at it early part of Friday as well. So it was a great matchup. We were really happy to have the crew from Calgary here.
Well, and that was a wonderful highlight of a tradition that we'd long had in the Alberni wrestling program, and it's good to see that come back, Charles. That really highlighted in front of the whole school what it meant to be an Alberni Armada wrestler.
And I think that's a big part of it too. We had a few students here who showed up and they said, "Holy crow, this is like Totem except for a lot more people." Well, that's what this Alberni Invitational Wrestling Tournament has been all about for many, many years. Back into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 60 to 64 kilo weight class. Down to the last 15 seconds now, and again, Jacob Giroux on top of Mathew, Hoag, and Van College.
Jacob Giroux from a double underhook was able to maneuver Mathew down to the mat. From that position, he pinned him. Now in Olympic wrestling, Olympic freestyle wrestling, a pin happens as soon as both shoulder blades contact the mat and there is control by the other wrestler. So in that case, no question. Good job, Jacob. Mathew, well fought.
Well done by both competitors. The winner is Jacob Giroux out of Guilford Park.